手机，不慎将一只脚插进下水道里。女孩试图拔出，却没有成功，随后连忙大喊救命。
Many of us find great relief in certain moments during the day that make us feel joyful, and even when things don't go often as expected, we start to think that our luck just isn't going for us. However, no matter how dire things may get, oftentimes we can still laugh about our situations, especially when thinking that more often than not, there are others in more complicated situations than we find ourselves in. In this video, we're taking a look at people having a worse day than you. But before we jump into it, don't forget to click the like button, share, subscribe, and press that notification bell for more updates. Kitty chair trap.
Oh my gosh. Come on, Addie.
Yeah, Addie.
In 2019, a teenager from Idaho found herself stuck in a moment she couldn't get out of when she and her friends ate at a local Chick-fil-A. High school sophomore Addison Trent thought it would be funny to sit in a child's high chair while she ate her meal, so her friends grabbed one and pushed her down to squeeze into it, when they all immediately realized that they had made a big mistake. Addison found herself stuck in the high chair with seemingly no way to get free from it. They tried everything they could to free her from the chair, from laying on the ground while her friends pulled her arms and legs, to jumping up and down trying to shake the chair's grip from her body. After calling her mom and explaining the situation, and 45 more minutes of useless attempts at setting herself free, they decided to call the fire department to help. Firefighters arrived and used a drill to disassemble the high chair specifically for children. Addison was in no way in any danger and wasn't injured in any way, but after clips of her encounter with the high chair became viral, with local and national news having shared her predicament, she now realizes never to put any part of her body in a place that it wasn't intended to. Lions in the dark. In 2020, a viral photo surfaced on the internet of a photo of a man allegedly unaware that there were numerous lions in his background, claiming that the lions were only noticed when the camera's flash went off. Now imagine that situation of not realizing that the area you're standing in is swarmed with numerous predators, only to realize after taking an innocent photo that there were numerous eyes being reflected by your camera's flash. Now the photo has done its rounds on social media, with many stories having been shared regarding the photo's backstory. The man in the photo is Stefan Vanderwalt, who visited the Newts Game Reserve in Botswana. Vanderwalt was part of a group of 8 men who regularly visit the game reserve and participate in anti-poaching and animal control activities in the area. Apparently, they had already discovered that there were as much as 8 lions in the camp, and that they were fully aware of the lions when the photo was taken. After carefully assessing the situation and the lion's demeanor, they decided that it was safe to take the photo, which clearly showed each lion's eyes staring into the camera as if joining in the rare group photo. Pizza on the interstate. A truck driver's job may be quite straightforward, taking cargo from point A to point B in the allotted time for delivery. While the job may not be that simple, with risk and challenges involved, especially with the long distances, the worst could also happen, which would be to lose all of the cargo you're transporting. In this particular case, however, an 18-wheeler truck crashed and spilled frozen pizza on Interstate 30 in Little Rock, Arkansas, closing part of the freeway for almost 5 hours, causing traffic to back up about 10 miles. The truck slammed into a column of an overpass, ripping open its trailer and spilling diesel fuel along with hundreds of Tombstone and DiGiorno pizzas onto the roadway. Aside from the loss of all that pizza, fortunately there were no untoward incidents due to the accident. Front-loading tractors were used to scoop the pizzas off the road, which were already starting to bake, and fill the air with that familiar pizzeria smell due to the intense summer heat. Turtle through windshield. In April of 2021, a 71-year-old woman was riding with her granddaughter on I-95 near Port Orange, Florida, when a turtle smashed through the windshield, hitting the elderly woman in the head. The woman did not lose consciousness and was aware that she had been injured by a flying turtle and had to go to the hospital for a routine check. The turtle had survived as well, only suffering a few scratches on its shell. Now, while this particular news may seem bizarre, there have been several recorded incidents of other turtles flying through windshields of unsuspecting drivers in the southern United States in the last 5 years. Falling sign.
Crushed the vehicle. It was a metal sign, it was welded, and yes, it was bolted to that overhead barrier, but then it broke away.
When all is lost, signs literally show us the way. But what happens when instead of looking for the signs, the sign actually comes to you? This is what happened in 2019 when a massive overhead road sign fell and crushed a woman's car as she drove along one of Melbourne's busiest freeways. During along the Tullamarine Freeway, the woman was shocked when a 5x4 meter sign fell on her car, shattering her windshield in the process. The support structure that had held the sign also fell and crushed the vehicle. The incident raised safety concerns of all the posts and signages along the highway, with a woman being sent to the hospital after suffering an arm injury due to the incident. Sinking parking lot. Living in cold areas near solid ice is always a huge risk because we all know ice melts. A group of Russian fishermen learned this ice-cold lesson in January of 2020 when they returned from their fishing trip in Voivode Bay off Ruski Island. Find that the area had parked all of their vehicles on had broken off and turned into liquid. More than 20 cars had sunk into the cold water after the thin ice sheet collapsed in the Russian Far East. The cars sank to around 2 meters, with the fishermen realizing that they shouldn't have parked so close to each other on such a thin sheet of ice. The moment the ice cracked under one car, all the others eventually fell in under the combined weight, with some of the cars getting totally submerged. Trapped by the drain cover.
手机不慎将一只脚插进下水道里，女孩试图拔出却没有成功，随后连忙大喊救命。
In 2017, a young woman got her leg stuck in a drain cover after walking while using her mobile phone. The woman was taking a wrong step without seeing her direction as she was reportedly playing a game on her mobile phone while walking in heels on the street. Her right leg had gotten completely stuck between 2 bars of a drain cover, which prompted 2 passerbys to borrow tools from a nearby shop and then using a crowbar tried to expand the gap as people tried to pull the woman out. Due to all the help, she was freed shortly and did not sustain any injuries aside from her pride, of course. Trapped by cheese. In 2016, a forklift driver found himself rescued after 8 hours of being trapped under tons of cheese. The driver, Tomas Wisnowski, was miraculously saved after shelving in a cheese warehouse in Shropshire, England, had suddenly collapsed. Luckily for the driver, he managed to stay in his forklift, which had a protective cage that saved him from all the rows of metal racking and all the cheese that came down in the warehouse. Fire crews used drones and cut through the roof to locate the missing driver after hours of being piled on. The huge amounts of stock cheese in the large warehouse had metal racking stacked up to the ceiling, just full of cheese products in various sizes. While the reason for the collapse is still unknown, the relief over his rescue and the fact that he was unharmed is more than what anyone could expect. Head stuck in the bin.
Stuck in the bin, Mama?
Enjoy.
What are you up to then? Aye. Are you sure?
Everyone should know by now, never squeeze your head into somewhere it is not meant to be. In 2019, a man got his head stuck in a bin when he decided to take a look inside. The hilarious footage shows a trapped man waving a brown bag to cover his face. While his head is stuck inside the opening of a garbage bin, the man was seen trying his best to get his head out from the garbage bin that was marked for litter and dog waste, which adds to the mystery since he had said that he was looking for something, making us all wonder what was so important that he just had to stick his head inside the bin. What do you think about all of these people that are having a worse day than you? We would love to hear what you think by commenting down below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for more stories.